Welcome back, truth seekers, to another episode of Broadcasting Seeds, the show where we plant the seeds of curiosity and water them with the strange and unexplained. I'm your host, Bennett Tanton, and today we're diving into a topic that has fascinated explorers, mystics, and conspiracy theorists for centuries: ley lines. Imagine invisible threads weaving across the globe, connecting ancient sites, natural wonders, and places of power. These mysterious alignments are more than just myth. They might hold the key to unlocking the secrets of our past, understanding Earth's hidden energies, and revealing truths that have been buried for millennia. So, strap in and get ready to follow the lines, both literal and figurative, as we explore the enigmatic world of ley lines. But before we get started, remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you like what you hear, don't forget to leave us a review. Your support helps keep this podcast going and growing. All right, let's dive into the world of ley lines. First up, we're going to journey back in time to uncover the origins and history of these mysterious lines. Let's go. All right, let's fire up the time machine and head back to where it all began. The concept of ley lines, as we understand it today, was first introduced by Alfred Watkins, a British amateur archaeologist, in the 1920s. Watkins had one of those classic eureka moments while wandering through the countryside of Herefordshire, England. He noticed that many ancient sites, like standing stones, churches, and hilltops, seemed to align in straight lines. Naturally, he did what any curious mind would do. He wrote a book about it. In The Old Straight Track, Watkins proposed that these alignments were remnants of ancient trackways used by our ancestors for trade, travel, and even spiritual purposes. He coined the term ley lines from the Old English word lea, meaning a cleared strip of land. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While Watkins' theory started as a practical explanation, it quickly took on a life of its own. Enthusiasts and researchers began to suggest that these lines weren't just paths, but conduits of mystical energy. They believed that our ancestors placed their sacred sites along these lines to tap into this power, kind of like ancient Wi-Fi hotspots for spiritual energy. Now, not everyone bought into Watkins' ideas. The academic community gave him a polite nod and a skeptical eyebrow raise. But the seed had been planted, and the idea of ley lines began to grow, intertwining with theories about earth energies, ancient knowledge, and even extraterrestrial influences. From the sun-drenched plains of Nazca in Peru, where mysterious lines stretch across the desert, to the rolling hills of England dotted with stone circles and ancient mounds, ley lines have sparked a fascination that bridges history, mystery, and a touch of the mystical. So how do we find and map these elusive lines? That's what we'll explore next. Stay with me as we journey from history to the modern methods of mapping ley lines and uncovering their secrets. Now that we've got a handle on the origins and history of ley lines, let's roll up our sleeves and dig into how these lines are mapped today. Spoiler alert. It's not as simple as drawing a few lines on a map, though that's how it all started. Back in the day, people like Alfred Watkins used nothing but maps, rulers, and a keen eye for patterns. They'd draw lines between ancient sites and see what lined up. Nowadays, we've got a bit more tech on our side. Enter the age of satellite imagery, GPS, and computer algorithms, tools that make identifying these alignments both easier and more precise. Researchers start by pinpointing known ancient sites and natural wonders on digital maps. From there, they use software to detect straight lines connecting these points. Sounds simple, right? Well, the challenge is in the interpretation. Are these alignments mere coincidences, or do they signify something more profound? Take, for example, the famous St. Michael's Line in England. This line stretches from St. Michael's Mount in Cornwall to Bury St. Edmunds in Suffolk, passing through notable sites like Glastonbury Tor and Avebury. What's fascinating is that this alignment not only links ancient sites, but also follows the path of the rising sun on the day of the spring equinox. Coincidence or ancient engineering? You decide. Then we have the Nazca lines in Peru, massive geoglyphs etched into the desert floor, only visible from the air. These lines form intricate patterns and shapes, aligning with astronomical events and water sources. While some researchers believe they served as astronomical calendars, others think they marked underground water veins, vital for the survival of the Nazca people. But it's not just about the big names. Everyday folks like you and me are getting in on the action too. With apps and online communities, amateur ley hunters can share their findings and theories, creating a collaborative map of potential ley lines worldwide. It's a bit like a cosmic treasure hunt, connecting dots across history and geography. So, what's next on our ley line adventure? How about a dose of skepticism? Let's balance the scales by examining the scientific perspectives and the criticisms of ley line theory. All right, folks, it's time to put on our lab coats and dive into the scientific and skeptical side of ley lines. As much as we love a good mystery, we need to balance our excitement with a healthy dose of critical thinking. So, what does science have to say about these mystical alignments? First off, let's talk about the skeptics. Many in the scientific community argue that ley lines are simply a product of human pattern recognition, our brain's natural tendency to find order in chaos. This phenomenon is known as apophenia, and it's why we see faces in clouds or hear hidden messages in records played backward. Essentially, given enough points on a map, you're bound to find some that line up in straight lines purely by chance. A study conducted in the 1970s by archaeologist Richard Atkinson put this theory to the test. He demonstrated that randomly scattered points on a map could produce apparent alignments, similar to those claimed by ley line enthusiasts. This raised the question, are ley lines just a case of selective perception? Then there's the issue of confirmation bias. When ley line researchers draw their maps, they might unconsciously select sites that fit their desired pattern while ignoring those that don't. It's like connecting the dots, but only using the ones that make a pretty picture. But let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater just yet. Some scientists have explored the idea that ley lines might coincide with geomagnetic anomalies, areas where Earth's magnetic field behaves unusually. Dr. Paul Devereux a prominent researcher in this field, has suggested that ancient sites along ley lines might have been deliberately placed to harness these magnetic forces for ritualistic or healing purposes. It's a fascinating theory, but one that remains on the fringe of mainstream science. Another angle comes from the realm of geobiology, which studies the impact of Earth's natural energies on living organisms. Some researchers propose that ancient builders had an intuitive understanding of these energies and aligned their structures accordingly to enhance well-being and spiritual experiences. Again, intriguing, but not widely accepted. So, where does that leave us? Ley lines straddle the line between hard science and mystical belief, leaving room for interpretation and debate. Whether you lean toward skepticism or embrace the mystery, one thing's for sure. Ley lines spark curiosity and inspire us to look at the world in a new way. Next, let's shift gears and explore how modern spirituality intersects with the ancient concept of ley lines. Stay tuned as we dive into the world of energy healing, meditation, and more. Now that we've examined the science and skepticism around ley lines, let's switch gears and explore how these ancient concepts fit into modern spirituality. Spoiler alert, it's a blend of old traditions and new age practices, with a dash of personal belief. In today's world, many spiritual seekers and practitioners believe that ley lines are conduits of Earth's natural energy. They see these lines as channels that can amplify spiritual experiences, enhance meditation, and even promote healing. Think of them as the planet's acupuncture points, where energies converge and interact. One popular practice is dowsing, where individuals use rods or pendulums to detect energy fields and locate ley lines. Some claim that standing on a ley line can help align their personal energies, much like recharging a spiritual battery. While dowsing lacks scientific backing, it remains a cherished tradition for those who feel connected to Earth's energies. Then, there's the idea of power spots, locations where ley lines intersect, creating potent energy centers. Places like Sedona in Arizona and Glastonbury in England are famed for their supposed energy vortices. Visitors flock to these sites for spiritual pilgrimages, hoping to tap into the healing and transformative power of the land. Whether you believe in the energy or not, there's no denying the sense of peace and inspiration these sites can provide. Meditation and mindfulness practices also find a place along these mystical lines. Some practitioners choose to meditate at ley line sites, believing that the concentrated energy can deepen their practice and facilitate a stronger connection to the earth. It's a modern twist on ancient traditions, blending the spiritual with the geographical. And let's not forget the role of intuition. Many people who work with ley lines emphasize the importance of personal experience and inner knowing. They suggest that our ancestors might have had a more profound, instinctual understanding of these energies, a connection that modern society has largely lost. Whether you view ley lines as real energy pathways or simply as symbols of a deeper connection to the earth, there's something undeniably captivating about the idea. It invites us to slow down, tune in, and appreciate the unseen forces that might shape our lives. Next, let's venture into the realm of lost civilizations and unexplained phenomena. Could ley lines hold the key to uncovering ancient secrets? All right, adventurers, let's embark on a journey into the past and explore how ley lines might be linked to lost civilizations and unexplained phenomena. This is where the plot thickens and the mysteries deepen. Imagine, if you will, ancient architects with a master plan, laying out their sacred sites along these invisible lines. Some researchers believe that ley lines could provide clues to discovering lost civilizations, suggesting that our ancestors had knowledge of these energy pathways and used them to create powerful networks of temples, monuments, and cities. Take, for instance, the enigmatic pyramids of Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the most studied structures in the world, is said to be aligned with various other ancient sites across the globe. Some theorists argue that these alignments are too precise to be coincidental, proposing that the builders had access to advanced knowledge, possibly even of an extraterrestrial nature. Cue the X-Files theme music. Then there are the ley line intersections, often marked by clusters of ancient sites. Some believe these intersections, or nodes, were deliberate choices, selected for their amplified energy. Could these nodes be the remnants of a global grid system used by ancient civilizations to harness and transmit energy? The idea is tantalizing, if not a bit out there. In South America, the Nazca lines present another intriguing case. These massive geoglyphs etched into the desert floor align with other ancient sites and are thought by some to be part of a grand ley line network. Whether they were used for astronomical purposes, religious rituals, or even as landing strips for ancient aliens is still up for debate. Whatever their purpose, they add another layer to the ley line mystery. Another fascinating theory involves the possibility of ancient knowledge being encoded within these lines. Some researchers suggest that megalithic structures and their placement along ley lines might represent a forgotten form of communication, a language of stones that speaks to us across millennia. Decoding this language could unlock secrets about our ancestors' understanding of the Earth and the cosmos. And let's not overlook the paranormal angle. Ley lines often intersect with sites of high strangeness, places with frequent UFO sightings, ghostly apparitions, and other supernatural occurrences. Some believe that the concentrated energy at these ley line intersections might act as a beacon or portal, attracting phenomena that defy explanation. It's a theory that keeps both the believers and skeptics engaged in endless debate. Whether you're a fan of ancient aliens, lost civilizations, or just love a good mystery, ley lines offer a rich tapestry of stories and theories to explore. They challenge us to rethink our history and consider the possibility that the Earth itself holds secrets we've yet to fully understand. And there you have it, fellow explorers. Dive into the mysterious world of ley lines, from their origins and history to modern spiritual practices, scientific skepticism, and tantalizing theories about lost civilizations. Ley lines weave a fascinating web that connects us to our past and challenges us to look at the world with fresh eyes. Whether you're a skeptic, a believer, or somewhere in between, I hope this episode has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to explore these invisible threads for yourself. Who knows what secrets you might uncover, or how your perspective on the world might shift as you trace these ancient lines across the map. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, sharing, and leaving a review. Your support helps keep broadcasting seeds growing and reaching new listeners who are just as curious and passionate about the strange and unexplained as you are. And remember, if you have any stories, theories, or questions about ley lines or any other mysterious topics, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a message on social media or through our website. Let's keep the conversation going and continue planting those seeds of curiosity. Until next time, stay curious, stay adventurous, and keep looking beyond the surface. This is Bennett Tanton, signing off. Stay tuned for more episodes where we explore the strange, the paranormal, and the downright unbelievable.
I got bad thoughts that make my mind scared. Hold me hostage and they don't fight fair. Who gon' pray for me and wipe all my tears? Who gon' save me if you not right here? Move this darkness and make my sight clear. Take me away cause I don't like here. Ghosts of my past, they feeling the night air. Wake me up, I'm trapped in my nightmares. Wake me up, I'm trapped in my nightmares. Drowning, I'm off the deep end. Apparitions of all my demons. All my thoughts are committing treason. All alone, who gon' hear me screaming? Manifestations of my fears. Regrets that stretched out for light years. Can almost touch the light, homie, it's right there. Body free but trapped in my nightmares. Wake me up, don't let me drown. All the lights are fading now. All my